Hey guys, and welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver for the Nintendo DS. In the last part we went through Bellsprout Tower and took on some overly violent monks. Don't know what was up with that. So now all we have to do in Violet City, I think it's a city, I really can't remember, is take on the gym. So naturally that's what we're going to do. Now, I was okay with catching a Geodude and then going straight to Bellsprout Tower because I knew Geodude would be or E-Rock would be really good here, because of course in Bellsprout Tower he couldn't really do anything. I only actually used him once or a couple of times because there was not much he could really do. He was just going to get killed by Fine Whip, but I knew it was still a strong choice because Rock is super effective against flying, which meant for this gym, yeah, I just had E-Rock out, which meant I could just cane through these birds, no problem. It's pretty simple. Although the funny thing is I actually forgot that Rock was super effective against flying. I just knew that the reason I actually picked Geodude is because I knew it was really high defense and just had a really high defense, and I knew that pretty much all of the flying attacks in the gym would be physical, so E-Rock would be able to take the hits. That was the logic behind it, and that's why I'm using Tackle instead of anything else that E-Rock has. So that's kind of embarrassing, but still it works out for the best in the end. You know, I actually do beat the gym, spoiler alert, so. And yeah, at level 11 E-Rock learns Rock Throw, which really I should just use all the time, because it kills pretty much anything in this gym, because, you know, flying types are weak, so. But also it's pretty nice that in this generation they use different. If there wasn't a type gym in the first generation, then it came up in this generation, and that's why the game starts off instantly by having a flying type gym, because it wasn't in the first gen. And I believe that all the gyms have a unique type because they introduced 2 new types for this generation, and also they just use all the ones that they didn't use before, so that I think that comes to 8. I don't really know, I have to look that up, but I'm pretty sure off the top of my head. And yeah, so it's quite nice that it's actually a flying gym at the beginning. They actually in the 3rd gen go straight back to Rock, and then in the 4th gen they go straight to Rock again, which is kind of disappointing because flying types are actually pretty weak. Out of the starters though, they don't really match up, which is why I think they go for Rock, because Rock types are weak against water and grass, but flying type is super effective against grass and is impartial to water and fire. I don't think impartial is the right word, but whatever. They're like, whatever, it's fine. Fire's fine, water's fine, I'll take it or leave it. But yeah, flying is still just generally a weak type. Now of course they have really high, I think, attack. I'm pretty sure flying types in general have high attack, but they're just a pretty weak type in terms of just taking hits. They just can't take hits. So that's why I think it's a pretty good choice for a first gym, and that's why I think there wasn't a flying gym in the 1st gen, because they wanted to do rock type, so then they didn't really want to mess it up. I mean, they seem to plan the first 2 gyms around what starter you picked, and then the rest is just random, whatever they wanted to do. But anyway, back to this gym. I should probably mention that I will never speed up any of the gym battles because they're all kind of important, you know, tactics and all that nonsense. So I went for the first Pidgey is just a normal Pidgey, so I just, you know, used E-Rock, took it out, no big deal. But then he has a Pidgeotto, which I believe they changed what Pokemon he had from before. I want to say that this Pidgeotto was level 11 back in the originals. I really can't remember, but I think they have changed this a bit. Now this Pidgeotto isn't that bad at all in the original. It's fine, you know, it's kind of strong, but as long as you have a decent Pokemon that isn't grass type, because grass type Pidgeotto will just kill it, as long as you have a Pokemon that isn't that weak to it, then you're going to be fine. But in this version they decided to give it the move Roost, which I think was introduced in 4th gen maybe? For some reason throughout the generations they've introduced more and more healing moves. Before it was just Recover and then like an attacking healing move like Absorb, but they've added in more and more, and one is Roost, which was either 4th gen or 3rd gen, and this can make this battle really annoying and tedious because Pidgeotto will just keep healing. It'll just keep using Roost and it'll just keep doing that, and it heals a big chunk of its HP, a lot more than you would expect. So be careful there. You're going to have to use something like you're either going to have really strong Pokemon, or get lucky with a critical hit, or just be smart about it. Obviously, the way you saw, the way I beat that Pidgeotto without a kit, so appealing, was by just using a Rock Throw, because of course that does a ton of damage, so I was always going to eventually win. So yeah, do be careful about your levels, because of course if you play this game more than once, you're just going to try and burn through it. And a lot of people do try and burn through battles in the Pokemon games, but if you try and burn through this battle, you're just going to get destroyed by that Pidgeotto, because it's just going to keep healing. But of course I had no problems with E-Rock, so that's the first gym badge. Pretty simple really. Not much to it, just, throw some rocks, kill some birds, have a good time. Hold on, Professor Elm. And then yes, because this is a DS game, it embarrassingly shows what time I played this. So I played this at a 12 to 1, probably should have been asleep, but expect that a lot. That's why it's nighttime in this game. Because actually in the second gen, that was the first time they introduced the day and night. So it was actually in the original, having day and night and all that stuff. Which, interestingly, they took out of the third gen, but you probably already knew that. Now, this is another embarrassing thing that happens in this part. You get told to go to the Pokemon Mart to meet Professor Elm's assistant. He's right there. He is literally right there. He's not... I can see him on the screen, but I didn't see him at all when I played. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if I was just feeling brain dead for a second, but I didn't see him. I didn't see he was there. I didn't read the fact that he was there. So we'll see him later, but I went into the mart just to buy some repels, because this is a let's play and any wild battles I can prevent means less editing for me, which I'm always a big fan of. So yeah, I will go back and talk to him, but I'm pretty sure in the original he's in the Pokemon Center, and I didn't see him in the Pokemon Center, and that confused me, so I was just like, oh, forget about it, I'll just stop in the mart and get some repels and then move on. So that's pretty much what I did. So here we are at the ruins of Alf. Is that how you meant to say it? Alf? It's Ralph without the R. And you have to do this simple puzzle. Now this puzzle was actually pretty easy. I mess it up straight away because you actually have to rotate these and then put them in. But this is a lot easier than the original, because in the original the whole puzzle, like there was no pieces in the middle, you had to put it together yourself. And it was so picky, like some pieces just looked like other pieces and it was just really picky about it. In this one though, it's pretty easy to see which piece goes where, but I mean as a kid I did have trouble with the original one, because you would put it all together and it'd be like, yep, that's a Kabuto, I put it together, that's clearly a Kabuto, and the game's like, nope, don't reckon mate, and I would get annoyed about it. But in this one it's pretty easy because it's just a touchscreen puzzle, you just have to drag it with the touchscreen. And what was the point in all that, you're probably wondering. Yeah, that unlocks in this area, if you come here there's nothing there, but once you do the puzzle there's unknown or unknown. Cal's crazy. Another LP makes a good point that it's not unknown, it's unknown. It's unown. There's no K, which is, he's completely right, but of course it's Pokemon, so you just pronounce it how it is. And these Pokemon are completely useless. Don't catch one, don't even consider catching one. I remember being like, when I first played this game, or this generation, being like, alright, cool, there's this psychic Pokemon that I just found, because I think it's psychic type. I was like, hey, psychic types are really good, because of course I had only played the first generation before, and they're really overpowered in that gen. I'll catch an unknown. I'll catch an unknown because it's psychic type, and then I can use it in my squad because psychic types are really good. I caught it, I trained it up to try to be the right level, and it just stinks. It's just not very good. I can't exactly remember why or its stats or anything like that, but it's nothing worth worrying about. Like, everyone comes here and does this because you can. Really, that's pretty much what it comes down to. You can come here and make these Pokemon appear, and it's super easy, and you get to solve a puzzle and feel like a big man because you solved a Kabuto puzzle. But I don't know why everyone does it, and I don't know why I did it. I guess I did it to show it off as an LP, but every single time I play this generation I always go to the ruins and always solve that puzzle, and it doesn't make any sense. But quickly, Unknown are special Pokemon because they come in 26? I think in this gen it's 26. I think they added in more. 26 different sizes, which are all letters of the alphabet. So if you're really bored, you can arrange them to have like spell your name like Tom. Woo! You can spell Tom Woo if you really want. You know, celebrating me and my name. I'm okay with that. Which it's a cool idea, but ultimately completely pointless that you can spell them out. It has no ramifications on anything ever, I don't think, and I don't want to be corrected on that, because if you can use unknown in a certain way, it's probably very unimportant. But yeah, so we came in here and I believe he gave us the egg? Yes, he gave us the mystery egg. So now we have to look after it, because of course we're like 11 or 10. And we should look after eggs. We should do that. That's obviously our job, not the professor's job. You know, the excuse they make about why you have it and not a qualified Pokemon professor, why you have to carry the egg, is that apparently it hatches when it's around Pokemon. So because you have Pokemon, you keep it in your squad, so then it's like, woo, Pokemon, then it comes to life and all that. But, first of all, that's dumb. That doesn't make any sense. Like, if it comes to life because of it's around other Pokemon, then what? If there's no Pokemon, it just dies? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And also, he's a Pokemon professor. He gave you a free Pokemon. He could just put it next to the Chikorita and be like, hey, hang out. It'd be cool. But no, of course, that's not the way it goes down. So now you have the egg. And also, there was another crazy woman there, but I won't really talk about her. She's another new addition to this remake, but there's really nothing much to say about her until later. Well, I can say one thing, it's completely pointless and silly, unnecessary, but I don't want to be negative. I want to be a positive guy. I want to be a nice guy. But yeah, okay, so about the fact that it's nighttime, a lot of these parts will be in nighttime. Pokemon Pearl, the first like 7 or 8 parts were all at night, because I really didn't think it would be a problem that if I recorded it at night, I thought, that'll be fine, record at night, no big deal. But yeah, in this one I'm kind of making an effort to have it about half and half, because I have more time to record at night, because I do post commentary, so it's easier to record at night when I don't have anything to do, because I'm out during the day, living life to the fullest and all that rubbish. So yeah, it's going to be about half and half. Now here we go. Now, this is Mareep. It's an electric sheep Pokemon, and I had no intentions of catching this going into this game. It's actually a really great Pokemon, and a really great electric type that they throw out at you quite early on. And I had no intention of catching it, because I had 3 Pokemon, and also Mareep is a really standard choice. It's like, if you want a good team, you go for Mareep. Of course, not everyone does, but it's a really good choice and a really solid choice to have in your team. As you can see, I just caught one after saying all the reasons why I don't want one, but I caught one because it really is just really good. And I really do like having an electric type on my team, and there's not much around. I didn't check online to see what other electric Pokemon I could catch in the near future or in this route or anything like that, but Mareep is probably the best one, especially when it evolves. So yeah, I just thought, screw it, I can't be bothered to come up with something different. So yeah, as you remember, I now have 4 Pokemon in my team. I have Cyndaquil, Pidgey, Mareep and Geodude. So obviously my other Pokemon is going to be Marill. So that means my 6th choice, I'm just going to go for something dumb, because I don't like picking the standard choices. It's kind of a bit boring. I know I went for Cyndaquil, which is a standard choice as a starter, but you only have a choice of 3. But then Pidgey is a pretty standard choice, and now Mareep's a pretty standard choice. Geodude is, you know, not everyone does, but some people do. So yeah, I'm going to try and pick something really dumb for my 6th Pokemon, whenever that is. That's going to be a long way off. Because 4 Pokemon at this point is probably a bit overkill. It's just nice to have that 4th Pokemon at this point and just to not worry about it. And also there, you also saw a couple of Pokemon that's in that route. First is Ekans, which, I mean, I never used Ekans, if I'm being honest. I don't know if that's because Team Rocket had one in the anime, so I was like, oh, Ekans is evil. Or because poison types never really appeal to me. Like, they just don't really appeal to me. Okay, they're good against grass and other stuff, but they're not really anything that great, that special. I guess poison types are pretty decent, I just don't really like them, I never go for them. The other Pokemon we saw was Wooper, which either is or evolves into a water ground type. So obviously that's a really good choice if you want a water Pokemon. And then now we have Zubat. And of course the only reason Zubat is out because it's nighttime. So when you play at nighttime, certain Pokemon appear. Like how actually you can catch a Hoot if you're out at night. That's the main one. Because you can catch a Hoot in the very first route if it's out at night. Because I think they wanted to show off that feature very early on. And then you can catch, if you're in the morning here in this route, you can catch something. I can't remember what it is, but you can catch something if you're here in the morning. But yeah, obviously I'm not going to catch the Zubat, but I thought, I'll get the XP. Might as well go for the XP. I'm probably around the right level that you're supposed to be at this point, but it's always nice to get the XP. And Zubats are pretty weak. I mean, I had a lot more trouble than I should. Oh yeah, because Mareep, that's why I want the XP. I want to train up Mareep because it's only level 6, which is nowhere near good enough. So we're coming towards the end of the part, so next time in Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver for the DS, we will continue through routes 30, whatever, who cares. And yeah, we will meet some more Pokemon, fight some more trainers. So yeah, I've been on Storm23, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.